It's cosy. Okay, so that bulkhead's now set.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In last week's video we glassed in the chain roller mount and epoxied a new anchor locker drain into place. So now we are finally ready to fit the new chain locker bulkhead. We already have a template cut, so all we need to do is cut this out of Lloyd's approved Ooyy marine plywood we picked up last week, laminate both sides with chopped strand mat, trim and glass into place. So let's get straight into it.
Cut the forward bulkhead, so we just came with a jigsaw and then we've just cut a slight angle on this so that it conforms to the shape of the hull, and then we've just given it a little light sand on the edges here just to get rid of any splinters, any pokey bits, and then we've also just scuffed the actual surface itself with some 60 grit just so that when we lay the resin down, hopefully that will get a nice key. So what we're going to do now is just lay down some resin and we'll come in with some 600 gram chopped strand mat. It is the next day, so our laminate is set up. So this was the second side that we laminated last night, and that's gone off nicely. So what we need to do now is just trim off these pokey bits, get rid of these guys here because these are really sharp. So we'll just come in with a multi-tool, trim this as normal, and then what we'll do is we'll sand with probably some pretty heavy duty, something like 80 grit or maybe 60 or 40, down the side of each side of the bulkhead and also across the top, and that's just so that that's keyed in for when we actually then want to laminate it into the boat. So we'll do that first, and then we've got the heater on in the boat, we'll get in there and we'll get this tabbed into place. Quick sand, and we've got rid of all of the pokey bits. So you can see here now that's nice and clean. That's dusty, but it's cleaned off all the excess resin and pokey fiberglass bits. So what we'll do now is we'll wipe this with acetone, but we'll probably do that actually in the boat. So we're just going to get dusty hands on it again anyway. Where we have rubbed through, so you probably noticed we've just gone through just a little bit here. There's a couple of spots. What we'll do is when it's in the boat, we'll just hit those again when we're tabbing it into place, or we're actually going to epoxy the bottom edge. So that will get coated in epoxy, and then the other edges will get coated in polyester again when we tab it into place. So that will make sure that panel is fully sealed. Rich is just mixing up some epoxy 105 with some of the 205 hardener. Bulkhead is all ready to go. I forgot to say we'd actually sanded down the edges here as well, so that's where we'll tab onto the hull. And the hull's all ready as well, so we've just gone inside the boat and sanded all of the top of the bed module, so that's all ready to go as well. bulkhead is set, and we just came in with the epoxy on the bottom here. So I'm just going to leave that to set up now. What we are going to do is just put just a couple of small tabs on each corner, just put a little bit of glass and resin just to hold the bulkhead in place. We don't really want to play about with it too much at the moment, just while it's set exactly where it needs to be. So we'll just put those tabs on, let it set up, and then we'll be able to come in and tab it properly. Okay, so that bulkhead's now set. We just came in and just put that little bit of tabbing here on the left, and a little bit here over on the right. So we're just going to leave that now. We don't want to upset it or move it accidentally. So we're going to leave it for today, and then we'll come in next time and tab all of that in properly. Okay, so back on the boat this morning, and last time we just tabbed this into place just with some small tabs just to hold it in place, and then we put the epoxy across the bottom here. So that's gone off nicely now. That's been set up for a couple of days. We've got the tabbing here just holding the bulkhead in place, and obviously we'd already glassed that. We've also already sanded it as well, ready to tab to the hull, and we've also previously sanded the sides of the hull as well. I think probably what we'll need to do is probably just do a little bit of clean up here and across the top here. So we're going to do that first of all, and then what we'll do is just come in and acetone everything clean, and then what we'll be able to do is tab on the hull here and onto the bulkhead with some nice big pieces of 600 gram chop strand mat we're using. I think we cut it about 400 millimeters, so just over a foot wide. So we'll be able to run a band up here and a band up here, and then we're also going to put some across the top here. I think we might leave this side possibly, just because we know that we've got just a little bit of an adjustment to make on the height of this walkway here. We actually just need to lift it up about 5 or 10 millimeters. So we'll probably just leave that side for now, but we should be able to get everything else tabbed into place. Okay, so sanding's finished. So we've just come across the top here, sanded all of this, and then we've sanded the bulkhead again and also sanded the hull. So we just need to give that a nice white with acetone now. And what we'll do now is just go and cut some pieces of fiberglass ready to get this glass to the hull.
That's it, the bulkhead is nicely tabbed into place, so we just need to leave that to set up now. So that's going to be a wrap for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one.